Hello, my friend, and welcome to Pro Wrestling Daily. My name is Aaron Machbitz. So we are seeing in real time the downfall of Austin Theory because this guy has done segments with The Rock. He's won Money in the Bank. He had an angle with Stone Cold Steve Austin. I mean, he beat John Cena at WrestleMania 39. So why is he being squashed on Monday Night Raw by Jey Uso? Well, I think when you beat John Cena at WrestleMania 39 and then don't get immediately thrusted into the main event scene or win a world title or win a championship or put a stamp on that. Yes, he was United States champion at the time he beat John Cena, but nothing happened from it. And one of the things that came from his little altercation and match with John Cena was the promos that him and John Cena had. And John Cena did absolutely bury Austin Theory on the microphone. And then, yes, he beat him at WrestleMania 39, but then he talked about him in interviews post that match, saying he wasn't ready and he was just doing good business for WWE and doing what he was told. Maybe John Cena's heel turn started at WrestleMania 39 with Austin Theory. But then Austin Theory really did nothing with that. Nothing happened because of that. He didn't get thrusted into the main event scene. He didn't do anything more. So he reached the pinnacle, the peak of his career at WrestleMania 39 by beating John Cena. Beating John Cena at WrestleMania is a huge deal. And if nothing happens because of it, and the fans think less of you because of it, because of what John Cena said or the promo battles or the way it was handled or what happened after WrestleMania, nothing came from it. And so now we see him getting squashed by Jey Uso on Monday Night Raw. And so you're seeing the downfall of Austin Theory and what can be done potentially to revitalize his career. Well, there's a few options. One, he could take the Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre route where he could go leave WWE, go back to the independent scene, find himself, gain a fan base, gain more experience, and just become a better overall performer, wrestler, and entertainer. I have wrestled Austin Theory before. I wrestled him previously before he got signed to WWE. He's an amazing talent. You can see that with the way he moves and his execution, his selling, his moveset, all of that stuff is really high class. So maybe he goes back to the independents, cleans some things up like Cody Rhodes, like Drew McIntyre, and then comes back to WWE with full steam ahead. Or potentially he could go back to NXT. Shawn Michaels could work some magic with Austin Theory, have him gain some momentum, and then bring him back to the main roster because he's obviously a main roster talent. You don't just get segments with The Rock and angles with Stone Cold Steve Austin and win the Money in the Bank and win the United States Championship and beat John Cena at WrestleMania 39 if you don't have the juice. And so I do think he is a main event player. It's just been very mishandled. And so getting squashed on Monday Night Raw is not great. And so the downfall is there, but there are a few things, as I mentioned, that could help him revitalize his career, put him back into the hearts and minds of the fans in a positive light, and then see what he can do with his career. Because he's a very, very young man. He's well under 30, looks great, can do a lot of really cool things in the ring, just needs something that the fans can really attach to, because that's what separates the good from the great. That's what separates the guys who just live in the mid-card to those who make the main event. Those who make the main event have an investment and an attachment from the fans. And so that's what leads me to my next topic, which is main event Jey Uso. Is Jey Uso actually a main event player? Well, yes and no. He's a main event player because of his connection with the fans. The fans absolutely adore Jey Uso. Yeet is extremely over and it's extremely popular. It sells a lot of merchandise. People go nuts on his entrance. No, because his in-ring ability is not what a main event player is like. But there's been a ton of wrestlers who've been bad performers who have been very successful on the main event scene. You have Ultimate Warrior. You have Bill Goldberg, you have Sid Vicious, you have some of these guys, you have Nia Jax, right, who are main event players who became very, very, very successful professional wrestlers and are looked at in a very high regard for their career. I'm not saying Jey Uso is in that bucket, but yes, his in-ring ability is subpar compared to some other main event players, but the way he connects with the fans, his catchphrase, which is extremely important when it comes to WWE, his music, his entrance, all of that stuff, I guess, makes him a main event player. So it's a bit of a give and take. I mean, I don't really like when people pinpoint on some of the things that don't go right in a match. Doing a dive in a professional wrestling match is very hard. Everything is live. You don't get a second take, and sometimes things just happen. You slip, your stomach hits the ropes on the way out, your foot hits the ropes on the way out. Like, it's very, very dangerous and very, very hard. And so to pinpoint one little thing about him and say, no, this dude doesn't have it, he's not a main event player, I don't like that, because all the guys out there and girls are trying their hardest, they're doing the best they can, and it's live. It's live, you get one take, that's it. But regardless of that, the span of his career has sort of shown us that he is not a main event player when it comes to specifically his in-ring ability. Yes, he can put together pretty good matches, but not great matches. Not great matches. But what makes him great, what allowed him to win the Royal Rumble and potentially get a world title match at WrestleMania, which won't be the main event of either night, but he's still getting a world title match at WrestleMania, is his ability to connect with the fans. They have pushed him into the main event scene, and that is the most important part when it comes to being a quote-unquote main event player in WWE. That's what Austin Theory is missing. Austin Theory has the look, he has the moveset, he has the execution, he has the timing, he has the in-ring ability, but he doesn't have the investment and the connection from the fans. Jey Uso does have that, which has thrusted him into the main event scene, which is extremely important to understand. And then also what got announced for WrestleMania is the roast of WrestleMania from Kill Tony. Now, this could either go really, really great and it could be awesome, the roast of WrestleMania, or it could go really bad when, Tony makes some sort of joke that's doesn't sit well about, I don't know, Chris Benoit or something that's really, really, really heavy and not really something that should be joked about. But that's where comedians go. They see that line, they cross it, and then they come back. And I think that's important. Comedians are extremely important for the fabric of free speech in our society. So I think this could be really, really good. And maybe the first year will just be sort of a test run of how it goes, because Kill Tony is actually a huge, huge wrestling fan. So I think it's cool that he gets this thing to do it at WrestleMania, the roast of WrestleMania. Who's going to be there? Is he going to roast Undertaker, Stone Cold Steve Austin? Hopefully he roasts Vince McMahon and Hulk Hogan all night. That would get big pops, big cheers, big laughs. But there'll probably be some jokes in there that don't sit very well with some people, and that's just the sort of the peril and the chance you take as a comedian who gets is towing that line of what's too much, what's not too much, which again I think is extremely important for the fabric of free speech in our society. So I'm excited for that roast. I love a good roast. The Tom Brady roast was fucking awesome. So maybe the roast of WrestleMania will also be awesome. But those are my thoughts and feelings for today. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And then please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys next time. Lots of love. Cheers.